everyone, so welcome to my sewing room. So I've only been here for a little under a year because my daughter got married and this was her bedroom. So I've been setting it up and I want to show you kind of the things that I've been making. So first I want to talk to you about this wall back here. So up here I have a curtain rod so that I can hang quilts, and I just put the clips on there so I can just clip the quilts, and so I don't put any holes and don't have to put them directly onto the wall. But when I don't have a quilt hanging there, it's a design. See behind it, I can just take this quilt off and I can use it as a design wall. And so what it is from Home Depot, I got that, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's in the plumber aisle, and it's like really thick foam core board, and then I just covered it with batting, and then Mr. Honey just screwed it right to the wall. So, and on the wall itself, I wanted to show you, I did it on this wall, and then the opposite wall I'll show you a little bit later, is we put these strips of wood that we got from Home Depot, and we just nailed them right onto the wall. Cassidy had wallpaper on here, and we just covered it right up. We didn't even have to take it off. So that's the design board. This is a vintage locker that I keep a lot of my supplies in. And I wanted to talk to you about the countertop here, because that's the first thing I did. I knew that I needed a big area for my workspace. I needed to be able to iron big pieces of fabric and, rows of quilt blocks put together. So that's why I made this big surface here. I can put a cutting mat on it if I want and just cut here and iron here, or I can work from this side with my cutting mat and iron over here, and it's just plenty of room that I can put everything on, and it's right in the middle of the room. Now I wanted a counter height so that my back didn't hurt from hours of working, because I am in here pretty much every day, all day. And so what I did was I shopped for 2 dressers to be the base of this countertop. So the dressers, I just took my measuring tape when I went shopping and measured height-wise, and these are 34 inches. And then by the time we put the countertop on top, there's, it's about 36 inches, which is the height of a counter, like a bar height in the kitchen. So these 2 dressers right here are facing out, and I bought them the same, so they all have drawers, so this is great storage. And then I just decided by measuring the room how far apart to put the dressers, and then I ordered the top from Home Depot, and I ordered the corners rounded, so I didn't have any little grandkids cutting their foreheads open. And then right here, do you want to come and show down in here, Cassidy? My daughter Cassidy's filming me. So this is where it's open, where I can put a chair under there and work from here if I want, or stand. But I love it because I can put my rolling carts under here. Right now there's 3 under here. But how we braced it before we just used mastic to put the countertop on top is we put strips of wood between the dressers so that it was nice and sturdy before we added the countertop. And so that's my workspace, and I have a lot of areas in it for, all of my sewing supplies. So let me take you over and show you where I sew. Okay, so this is the other side where I sew, and this is the other end that you can see. Or I'll have Cassidy show you maybe at the end if you can't see it yet, but this is the other side where it's open. And so I just bought this desk that fits under there. It's shorter and it fits under there, and then I can just set up here, and I have this whole counter area that I can use, to lay out like my design boards that I have my projects stacked on. And then I've set this up over here as well, that I made another ironing station. This one was 6 inches tall, and I just have some sewing projects under there, and I just raised it so that it was higher so that I could iron when I'm sewing, plus I could store some things under there. And I just have my little sewing projects and things like that. I sew most of my things with a featherweight or a Bernina. Right now my featherweight's set up, and just got my light, my book stand, all the fun stuff that I need. And now let me show you the other half of the room. Okay, so this is the sewing station that we just left, so this is how it connects. And so over here I have my blue cupboard that I moved up here from my studio, and that was downstairs. So we've been in this house for like 25 years. So I was always on the main level overlooking the backyard, and now I'm upstairs looking over the front yard. So I just have it loaded with all kinds of vintage toys, pin cushions, all kinds of fun things. And I do have storage under here and in these drawers as well. And then I got this rolling cart from Home Depot, and it's really nice and sturdy. And I can keep, this is where I keep all of my drawings and designs and everything, and I can keep them organized. So I wanted to just show you what I do with my drawers. I put some lining paper in here, but I put these little containers in here that I got from Michael's, and that's what I keep in there so that I can keep things separated so they just don't become junk drawers, which they easily can. And so then we come around here, and these were obviously window seats, so I needed to make them a little bit more workable. So that's why I did the ironing station in that one. In this one, it's not an ironing station, but we did it the same way. I just put it on 9-inch legs, this table, so that I could put baskets underneath. And then right here is kind of where I stack maybe some other projects, you know, that are in the works, things of my notions that I need to approve that are coming, that my strike-offs, things like that. This is where I have all of my small design boards stacked right there in the corner. These curtains I made from my decorator weight fabric that I told you about in my last video, as well as this, what I used in the windowsill, same decorator weight collection. So let me show you the back of this sofa right here while we're standing right here. I got this little table at Home Goods, and I really liked this little sofa table because I don't have much room in here, but it does kind of become a catch-all. It's nice when you just walk in, you have a place to put things. I don't like to stack things on my work area, and so I have a basket and things like that. These are my samples of my Farm Girl paint, so I know that when I'm going to paint a new project, I can just pick one out and test out the color and see if that's what I like. I have my filing cabinets where I keep my patterns, my books, you know, cross-stitch charts, all of that kind of thing. In there, I keep my storyboards right there to the side, keep my big rulers in between. That's my new quilting basket and quilter bag, sorry, and there's my crochet basket. And right here, I'm so excited about the studio because I finally have enough room to have a sofa, which I did not before. So this is where I stitch, this is where I applique, where I draw, where I'm on my laptop, where I cross stitch, where I nap, all that fun stuff. But I love it because Mr. Honey can come up here, watch a movie or whatever with me. Cassidy can, Sterling, my granddaughter Sophie, we can, you know, they can join me in here, and it's really fun. But I have these little things on my end table right here in this drawer. Instead of spreading everything out on the table, I like to keep all the things that I need handy right inside of a drawer so I can just grab it when I need it. I do the same thing right here. This is my latest cross stitch prim that I'm working on in here, but I also work out of a drawer so I can just throw things there. And in this red cabinet right here is where I have all of my cross stitch fabrics and linens. And those little crochet balls I made quite a while ago, but I made those with my chunky thread, and I'm going to make them into a garland. I just haven't done that yet. And over here I have my record player, my albums, and my bowl of little cross stitch pillows that I showed you how to make. This is where I do a lot of photoing for blocks for my sew-alongs. I just have a little clothesline across here, and then I'll just hang them on there. And this one is getting ready for my prim sew-along. In my closets, there's 2 closets in here. This is where I keep my fabric. I keep them by color right here. And then up above, I keep my strips. These are 2.5-inch strips, and then I have 3.5 and 5 and 7. And I might do a video on my scrappy stash and what I do with that. But for right now, I'm just going to keep showing you my sewing room. Okay, so let's just continue around. This is obviously behind the door. This is where I keep all my ironing boards that I told you about in my last video, and I've just hung these up now. I haven't had any time to hang anything on, but these are my little bulletin boards for design inspiration. So I'll be hanging things there. Right here is my yarn wall. So I didn't have enough room for another large cabinet. So I knew that my yarn was only like this deep. So I searched everywhere and found these 2 shelves at Home Goods that are the same, and just hung them up like this, just a little bit apart, so I could put my granny square pin cushions in between, have my button jars up there, and then I just have my yarn whenever I need it and grab as many skeins as I need. So I wanted to show you, this is one of the things that I made from my chunky thread. My chunky thread's 100% cotton. I will be doing some crochet videos, just some beginner ones as well, on how to use my yarn, as well as a lot of other things. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you come back again for more tutorials and more from my sewing room.